50 years of nationhood, Mr. Assistant Speaker, and the government cannot guarantee the safety of its citizens. In 2023, this Honourable House passed the budget and gave 549 million kina to the police department. In 2024, it increased this funding to 629 million kina, 2024. That's a 15% increase. Total allocation from 2023 to 2024, Mr. Assistant Speaker, was 1.178 billion. Almost 1.2 billion kina. Now in 2025, we've announced the highest appropriation, 703 million kina, yet another increase, taking the total to 1.8 billion. My question is, from 2023 to 2024, 1.2 billion kina. We haven't seen an improvement in discipline. We haven't seen an improvement in professionalism and standards in the RPNGC. We haven't seen any solutions for police housing, any improvements in police capacity, equipment, and conditions. We haven't seen any solution to the fleet management. We're still hiring. We're still on the hire car basis with all policemen around the country. We are not confident that we will meet the manpower targets of 7,000 by 2026. I have recently called, Assistant Speaker, for the good police minister to tender his resignation because we have lost trust and confidence that he has what it takes to be the police minister for what is so important, to the citizens of this country. So the question is, Mr. Assistant Speaker, what is the crux of the problem that's affecting the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary that is seeing a spike in violent crimes throughout the country, and what are you doing about it?
Been grossly inept when it comes to implementing the budget. Using its tools of selective warranting, it has weaponized the budget, and the Prime Minister is in the business of choosing what Member of Parliament gets what, how much, and when. This is completely unheard of. It has never happened before in the history of the country, when the Prime Minister treats the Treasury like a tucker box and uses the nefarious tool of selective warranting to slice and dice the budget at whim, to manage, placate, and appease members of Parliament based on political affiliation. This is despicable and it is illegal. This is not principled leadership, but desperate abuse of public monies for self-preservation. It augurs disaster for Papua New Guinea. On Monday, 10th of March 2025, both the Attorney General and the Speaker of Parliament were served a notice that a Section 19 Supreme Court reference had been filed by the Elimbari Rural LLG to challenge the proposed amendments to Section 145 of the Constitution, where a vote of no confidence can be moved against the Prime Minister. This is an important development that subsequently renders this proposed amendment sub judice. This proposed amendment is now before the Supreme Court for judicial determination. I expect that both the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General will uphold the tenets of the Constitution and be responsible. We expect the Speaker to respect the judicial process. We expect that the Attorney General will exercise some restraint in not bringing this proposed amendment to the floor of Parliament for debate, discussion, or deliberation. Notwithstanding the sub judice warning, we understand that Parliament has total immunity. It can move the proposed amendment to Section 145 of the Constitution and still change the proposed amendment to make it law before the Speaker certifies this. Once that happens, Section 145 will have changed. But then, the challenge by the Elimbari Rural LLG is that this proposed amendment prohibits and restricts the rights of members of Parliament, especially when it comes to the most important provision, a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister. It is important that both the Attorney General and the Speaker be reminded that all members of Parliament were voted by the people through a process that is enshrined in the Constitution. The mandate is sacred. The proposed amendments to Section 145 of the Constitution are simply sacrilege. It cannot be allowed. I commend Elimbari Rural LLG for filing the Section 19 Supreme Court reference to challenge this proposed amendment and this proposed change to the Constitution that is all about a Prime Minister trying to cling on to power. Any Prime Minister that wants to maintain the job of Prime Minister should just simply be exemplary at the job of being a Prime Minister. This is how we continue to hold the executive government and the Prime Minister to account, because no executive government and no Prime Minister can subjugate, undermine, or subvert the mandate given to members of Parliament by their people. Out of 326 LLGs in Papua New Guinea, I commend Elimbari Rural LLG for standing to defend the Constitution and demonstrating their character and their resolve to do the right thing for the people of Papua New Guinea. Go round. The 2025 budget will require money for its effective implementation. After the first quarter of 2025, all members of Parliament can attest that they have not received their funding. Districts, provinces, departments, sectors, agencies, programs have all not received their 2025 budget appropriations. This was exactly what led to the 2024 budget's failure. This protracted and severe cash flow crisis that is affecting the national coffers right now is a result of poor fiscal discipline by the Honourable Prime Minister James Marape. The modus operandi for this Prime Minister is selective warranting for crony capitalism, where we see public monies being overspent, a total mismatch in revenues and expenditure, and this fixation on debt financing. We have borrowed more money in the last 6 years, 39.9 billion kina, than any other Prime Minister or government in history. Yet, there has been no socio-economic improvement, and we continue to have this protracted cash flow crisis currently threatening the 2025 budget. So, what can we do about this? Simple. We can remove and depose this Prime Minister because people are creatures of habit. After 5 years, there has been absolutely no investment in agriculture and tourism, notwithstanding the historic budget after budget, a cumulative total of 156.8 billion kina. We have not fixed the youth bulge issue. There has been no 1 million jobs created. We have been unable to promote the SME sector, and we have the wrong Minister for Commerce. We have not been able to fix law and order, reduce crime and corruption in the country. We have been unable to sack the police minister. We have not been able to create a conducive environment for foreign direct investment. After 6 years, the Prime Minister has failed to provide any reforms to our tax regime. We have been unable to increase the FX shortages that are affecting business activity throughout the country. We have not been able to create a positive relationship with our bilateral partners. This is all because this Prime Minister is not making decisions based on meritocracy, pragmatism, and honesty. Just like Singapore, he has been hypocritical in his policy that is just based on cliche. And this mumbo-jumbo policy prescription is creating confusion and havoc that will continue to prolong this cash flow crisis and affect members of Parliament and how they effectively deliver to their people in their respective districts and provinces. We cannot tolerate, accept, or allow this. The time for change is now, to depose this Prime Minister and save Papua New Guinea, because this cash flow crisis will continue if Marape remains the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea.